Sometimes I think about the choices, opportunities, and things that may have not fallen in my favor. And I just get to thinking, what if I alter my path? What if the numbers have fallen in my favor? And I feel like I put more emphasis on things that didn't go my way because that shit involves money being left on the table. Choices and opportunities are not to be neglected. Maybe I decided to do something else on the way, and all of a sudden a whole new world of possibilities start to open up. It's like a fucking multiverse where some are better off than me, some are worse off than me, and all of a sudden I'm in a race against myself. Like, some people compare themselves to others on social media who are doing far better off than them at the same age, but shit, I'm comparing myself to others whose existence can't even be proven. I promise you I'm not going insane. It's just friendly competition. I know you're sick of me talking about gambling, but this shit could have changed my life if the numbers just went my way. I had this one parlay. It would have won me $1,000. You want to know how much it missed by? It missed by 0.5 rebounds. I remember watching that shit. The player was about to go off for that rebound, but his teammate just teleported right in front of him and took that shit away, pointed up to the camera, and just started laughing in my face. I was hurt. I was extremely sad. But even then, it wasn't just about the money, because I would have finally had something to show for this shit, man. The energy would have shifted in my favor in more than one way. I wonder how that me is living right now. But ultimately, the energy shifted in a completely different way. It feels like coming back from this, it's just too tough to overcome. Because it feels like you did everything right, but you still didn't get the results. Or rather, you did get the results, but it's incredibly underwhelming. Unforgivable. Sometimes I just think, what if I started YouTube earlier? There's also putting more effort into YouTube, but that's a completely different thing entirely. But what if I started back during the pandemic? Back when I had so much time that I didn't even know what to do with that time. Would I have been doing way better? Would I have been doing worse because I think that YouTube isn't even something that I could do? Or would I just been in the same position, just grinding away? And of course, the me then isn't the me now. Not trying to say that I'm making top shelf content, because the me back then probably could have been chefing up something delicious. But I feel like I give insight sometimes. I could sometimes be human. Sometimes I think of more ambitious things. Like, what if instead of basketball, where truth be told, it was over for me before it even started, even though I love playing that shit. What if I went for football or baseball? Have I gone insane? Look, me and my glorious King Eze are the same height. Who's to say that if I didn't put in more than enough work, that I could have been putting up 2 goals in the game? Him and Mateta, man. They only got the highest of quality honeys poured on them that day. The things that I would do to see that team for one more year, I can't even say them on YouTube. Mookie Betts is like close to the same height as me. Who's to say that I couldn't have been right there with him going back to back in Dodger Stadium? And of course, it's difficult to make it in football or baseball. That shit requires a fuck ton of work and dedication to even get an opportunity to play at a higher level. And with all that considered, you may be thinking, well, what would have made you the exception? I'm not saying that I would have been the exception, but who's to say that I wouldn't have been the exception? That's why it's always better to do than to think, because there's nothing worse than thinking yourself into a regretful ass motherfucker in this life. So now we're going from the possible and plausible to the downright impossible. What if that talking stage wasn't just a talking stage back in? That shit was always bound to fail, because met the person, then it turned into a long distance talking stage. You have a better chance finding 3 bands out in the street, which is actually put there by a YouTuber doing a social experiment. So you look to see if the money belongs to anybody, but you just keep it pushing. The YouTuber comes up to you, it's like, since you're a good person, we gonna give you this car, this house, and all this money. And you're just there like, being a good person does pay off. I would have took that fucking money if I wasn't under surveillance. When I did meet this person, it wasn't my finest hour. But getting that experience is always a win no matter what. It's like a rookie being in the playoff. The motherfucker might play like shit, but he got to experience that environment, for better or for worse. Sometimes I just wonder, where could she be right now? I say this all the time, and I don't even know who she is. I know she out there. Maybe she looking for me. If you're hearing this, hit me up. The kids miss you. I miss you. Please, come home. But what if I did meet her, and I just don't got what she needs? I would cry myself to sleep, knowing that I'm never good enough. Look, people are clowning on that motherfucker, but utter defeat is something that some people can't accept. With some things, like this YouTube shit, defeat is just not an outcome that I'll accept. No matter how crushing it may be, we will take victory from the jaws of defeat. That's it. That's the video. Live life. Try to live with as little regrets as you can have, so that when you're about to pass away, you don't have a long list of shit that you're like, wow, I wish I could have done blah 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 blah. And then your family leave the room because you talking too damn much, and now you dying alone. Sad. Tragic even. Other than that, have a good day, and I'll see you soon.